What's up, YouTube? This is Tristan from Team Fellowship. This is my first deck profile video, so I hope you enjoy it. This is the first of many more I'd like to do. To start off, I would like to say I'm covering a four-axis Fire Fist deck, so don't hate too hard. This is probably what I'm going to play for the whole format, so here we go. We're going to go ahead and start. We're going to start with monsters. This is a very control-based deck. I love it. In fact, I think control is really going to just kind of run the format. I don't see too much swarm capabilities now that dragons kind of got their nuts chopped, and prophecies aren't really a thing to worry about. Plus, this deck doesn't necessarily care about evil swarms. Ophion really isn't a problem thanks to bear. So let me go ahead and start. So we're going to start off with our 3 staple dragon. Dragon's just a great card, spammable, gets rid of your expended formations, and works well with wolf bark. 3 bear, staple, obvious reasons. Great card, gets over most problem cards, and then you attack, you get your other formation. 2 gorilla. They're about just as good as bear. Not bad, except you have to destroy a monster in order to get its effect, which is sometimes hard, but you can still always just bait your opponent out, summon it, and just kind of see what happens from there. But still a good card. Run it at 2. Boar. I run 2 boar because 4-axis isn't notorious for being the fastest of decks, especially compared to 3-axis. So, if you get a really bad first hand, you could always set it, let it float, and then see if you can, hand adjust to it. It's also good for synchro capabilities, overlay capabilities with Wolf Bark, of course. Kieran and Crimson Blader, those are crazy win condition cards. Maybe not so much Kieran as Crimson Blader, but you know what I mean. So, the boars, they're good, they're solid. And of course, with every 4-axis build, you need your Wolf Barks. Wolf Barks are key to your victory. They're searchable by 10 key, and they're just great win condition cards. And for this format, obviously if you're not packing 2 to 3 max C, then you're not in the right format. I don't know why you're even playing this game. There's just too many special summons going on. Last format, this format, any format. This card is just amazing in general. Easy to side out just in case. You never know what could happen. 4-axis is really good to side out with. So that concludes the monsters. Pretty decent monster count. I think it's like 16. I'm going to move on to spells. So since 4-axis is kind of lacking speed, to pick it up and to get your quick overlay plays going, you can go Onslaught. Usually I'll Onslaught Boar. So you can go, Onslaught, Boar, play something else, overlay, go right into your, Tiger King, set Tensu, do whatever you got to do. But it's a solid card. No more than 2 should you run. I was thinking about just running it at 1, but for versatility's sake. So 2 lances. 2 lances is very solid. It protects your cards, especially in 4-axis. You really need your cards to stay alive, especially Wolf Bark. You summon Wolf Bark, they'll try to get rid of it as fast as possible. Of course, it doesn't beat Warning, but haha to Bottomless and all that. So 2 lances is pretty good. You can side the 3rd if you want. I prefer 2. 2 lance and 2 MST because you never know. I think it's better than Gyoku. Gyoku's just a good lockdown card, but even then I only run these at 2, so they're searchable and they're annoying to deal with, which is why 4-axis is really good at lockdown. 3 Tenki. Thank God this is back. Amazing card. Just kind of revitalized the whole thing. It's kind of scary for Bujins. They just they got that much more consistent. Let's see what Constellars and Fire Kings, but other than that, glad to have them back. 3 Tensu, just for consistency. If it was up to me, I'd run 2, but This card is so good, especially in 4X's. And then the staple Dark Hole, staple Book of Moon. So moving on to traps. Let's see. This is optional. This was kind of up to me. This is personal tech. I'm just doing 3 10-cent for Dragon's sake. Most people do like 2 10-cent and 1 10-ken, or 2 10-ken, 1 10-cent, but being able to beat over stuff, problem cards, and you know, it's very unexpected. I've won before flipping up 2 of these and just smashing over stuff. It's a very good card to use. Plus, Tenken itself it's very situational. Plus, it's also, you know, limited to that main phase 1, so that could get you in trouble. I prefer safe zones over this, which is why I side 2 safe zones. But I'm not going to do my side in this video, because I kind of keep that private, at least until it's, you know, acknowledged, or I top or do something crazy. So anyway, 1 torrential, staple, compulse, and solemn. You're like, oh, why are you running bottomless? Well, I'm not a huge fan of bottomless. It's, you know, these are better one-ofs than bottomless altogether, in my opinion. Bottomless hits multiple cards, so I mean, I guess that's, you know, the big plus, but I'd still rather have these in general. I'm not huge on just running a ton of traps. I know a lot of players are, but I'm not very trap heavy in any of my builds. So 2 Vanity's Emptiness, like I said, very good control. Shuts down most decks right in their tracks. Very, very evil card, and it's good to play around too. You know, if you want to get rid of it, you can. But you also have to be very wary, because if your opponent, you know, has MST, they're going to hit something else while this is up, and it's going to get, you know, it's going to be a 2-for-1, 2 birds, 1 stone. So be careful, know when to use this, because it could save your life. So that concludes the traps. Very small trap count. So I guess I'll move to the extra deck. 1 Kieran. He's a great wall. His effect is pretty decent, and you know, as soon as he's summoned, he's a trigger effect, so you can grab your formation right off the bat. So, boo-ba-doo-boo, you know, he goes bottomless, compulse, whatever, it doesn't matter. He still goes off. Crimson Blader goes with Boar, win condition, great card. I'm sure all of you know what this does. Triple Tiger King, because it's nothing but 4s. You're constantly going into him. I go to at least 2 or 3 per round, at least. It's just a workhorse in this deck, and you have to have them at 3. Cardinal, another great workhorse. Gets rid of problem cards. You know, it's the deck's tiramisu. It's very annoying, hard to get around, and great overall if you can get them off. Diamond Dyer is a personal attack, because I mean, it's happened before where I've had, you know, no outs to certain cards, and I couldn't get around certain problem cards. So attributing another, you know, dead monster for this, popping their card, kind of saved my game a few times. Emerald for recycling, monster potting. It's a great card. Maestro staple. Black Ship of Corn staple. Just very obvious. I don't know, I was thinking about siding this out and maybe adding a second Abyss Dweller, but it never hurts to have it 1. Abyss Dweller, Cowboy, wins me so many games, it's a trolley card. Pappy, great card, and Pearl, because they're like, Fiendish? Nope. It's just a solid beater, gets over, you know, annoying 25 beater boss monsters. Shien's like, what's up? But other than that, that's pretty much it. Just a simple 15 card extra deck. Nothing too fancy, nothing overly glorified. It gets the job done. So that essentially ends the deck profile. So I hope you enjoy, and thanks for watching, and I'll try and post more as soon as possible. Tristan out.